Dubois. First tonight, a jury has reached a verdict in the trial of the two men accused of murdering 17-year-old Brandon Guerrero in Machias in 2021. After hours of deliberation following closing arguments today, the jury found 30-year-old Emmanuel Ramos and 21-year-old Juan Ortiz, each guilty of 1 count of murder and 1 count of robbery. 3 other men charged in the case previously pleaded guilty to the same charges and testified during the trial. The commission investigating the October 25th mass shooting has released its interim report ahead of its April 1st deadline. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard, who's been following this story since the shooting began, has a deeper look at what the report contains.
Having read through the 29-page report, the key takeaway from the commission is that Robert Carr Jr. was responsible for his own conduct during the shooting. However, there were several opportunities law enforcement had that, if taken, may have changed the course of events.
This interim report is the work of 7 public hearings, over a terabyte of electronic reports and records, site tours of the shooting locations, and the public and private testimony from witnesses, victims, and family members of Carr. Commission Chair Daniel Wathen laid out the charge of the commission to get to the bottom of the events before, during, and after the shooting at the first meeting.
It's a task that each of us owe to the people of Maine, and particularly to those victims and those affected directly by this horrific and unprecedented tragedy.
In the report, the commission lays out the timeline of events beginning in May of 2023 and reached several interim conclusions in the report regarding Maine's yellow flag law. One unanimous conclusion is that, quote, the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office had more than sufficient information to begin the process of securing a yellow flag order on Robert Carr Jr. on September 17, 2023, end quote. Something that Sergeant Aaron Schofield disputed when he testified before the commission on January 25th.
If he was in mental decline, as stated to me at that point, then potentially take him into protective custody. But that's the key element. We needed to do that assessment.
The report went on to say that Sergeant Schofield or the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office should have followed up with Carr at his workplace after their initial attempts to do a welfare check on Carr at his home were unsuccessful. The commission acknowledged the yellow flag law as cumbersome, but possible if officers are knowledgeable of the process and resources available.
The work isn't done for the commission. They plan to hold several more public hearings before releasing their final report with recommendations by May 1st. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, and we thank Corey for combing through that report this evening for us. Meanwhile, people who have certain misdemeanor marijuana convictions may soon be able to apply to get their criminal records sealed. A suite of legislation proposed by the Criminal Records Review Committee would seek to change the eligibility to have criminal records sealed or marked confidential. It would include Class D and E crimes for possession and cultivation of marijuana that occurred prior to January 30th, 2017, when Maine's first adult-use cannabis bill went into effect. Speaker of the House Rachel Talbot Ross, who chaired the committee, says this legislation is the culmination of months-long deliberations.
Now that cannabis is legal and profitable in this state, how do we reckon with the injustice perpetuated by its illegal activity? Dating back to the 1970s with the proliferation of the war on drugs policies in the United States, millions of Americans were subjected to overly harsh and extreme sentencing policies that caused an overwhelming increase in our prison population, criminalization, and lifelong criminal records, disrupting or altogether eliminating their access to adequate resources and supports to live healthy lives.
Other members of the Criminal Records Review Committee that support the bill say it's a good first step, but more needs to be done, including expanding the eligibility to include offenses for harder drugs like heroin. The former chair of the Maine GOP is challenging independent Senator Angus King for his seat in the Senate. Dr. Demi Kouzounis filed her paperwork with over 2,000 signatures from registered voters to the Secretary of State's office this afternoon prior to the filing deadline. Kouzounis says if elected, she'll focus on 3 main issues.
Inflation and economics are a #1 issue for me. I mean, obviously, Maine is struggling right now, and you know gas and grocery prices are high, right? I think that we need to relook at what's going on with the wind energy. Those things leak 80 gallons of oil each one every year in the ocean. Everybody that knows me really knows that I care about the environment, And I think this is not the right direction for basically energy in our state of Maine. So that's a huge issue. And veterans and mental health is #1 issue for me.
There is no Democratic candidate for the Senate race. That election is scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th. Topics like mental health and bullying can be difficult to talk about, but one organization is looking to address these concerns by including high school students in the conversation. Our Matthew Jurancic has that story.
High schoolers from the greater Bangor area participated in Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's first ever Youth Mental Health Summit on Friday.
We have a student volunteer program over the summer at Eastern Maine Medical Center, and they have expressed that mental health is a very big concern for them. And so we listened to their feedback and we brought it together with our amazing community partners.
The summit focused on sensitive topics, including suicide prevention and mental health, with the goal of sparking a conversation around those difficult topics.
A lot of people with mental health, they don't realize how prevalent that these illnesses are, and a lot of people just struggle in silence thinking that they're the only one. But once someone else shares their story that really aligns with what they're going through, inspire people to realize how they're not alone.
We all have a struggle and we all have a story, and that story can be used to help other people and can be turned into action.
The day featured students participating in workshops like animal-assisted therapy and creative therapy in an attempt to help develop strategies to manage issues in real-life situations as they arise. It also featured a speech from a member of the Yellow Tulip Project, a youth-driven movement that looks to reduce the stigma around mental illness. Hampton Academy junior Stella Fox grew up a dancer. However, she says staring at a mirror caused her to develop negative body images towards herself. Now, she's overcame this difficult time in her life and hopes people will be inspired by stories like hers.
I know that I am loved no matter what I look like, and I feel like I'm proud of my body, and I think everyone should be proud of their body no matter how they look.
In Orono, Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
204 years ago today, Maine became the 23rd state in the nation. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard stopped by the Maine State Archives to learn more about the history behind Maine's push for statehood and the early days of our state.
March 15, 1820 is acknowledged as a day that the District of Maine separated from Massachusetts to become its own state. But why was independence so important to early Mainers?
After the War of 1812, the people in Maine started to really sort of grow an interest in separating from Massachusetts, having some say over their own economy, their own rules.
According to Kate McBrien, the state archivist, the path to statehood wasn't an easy one, with several referendums to separate from Massachusetts failing before finally passing in 1819. Then, the hard work began to draft Maine's Constitution.
We know that they spent a lot of time talking about representation in the legislature and how would that be divided, how would that be fair amongst all the communities, whether they were large, almost cities at the time, or really, really small rural communities.
The Maine State Archive has the first draft of the Maine Constitution. One interesting note in the draft is that Maine was almost named the Commonwealth of Maine, but later crossed out and replaced with the State of Maine. William King, who led the push for Maine independence and became our first governor, sent a draft of our Constitution to one of the nation's founding fathers.
Thomas Jefferson read it over, and his reply is at Maine Historical Society, and it's a wonderful letter because he kind of just says, wonderful attempt, I appreciate it, you're giving way too much power to companies, don't do it. You know?
McBrien says despite the obvious technological advances with the passage of time, the people of Maine have remained largely the same from our early days.
And this is what I love about archives, is you can go back and look at documents and really see what were people thinking at that time. And Maine in so many ways has not changed in that we're still very community focused. You know, our neighbors are all still very important to us.
For 204 years, Maine has continued to live up to its motto of Dirico, which translates to I lead. Happy birthday, Maine. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
So many amazing pieces of history to highlight right here in the Pine Tree State. All right, well, let's take a look outdoors now and see what's coming our way weather-wise.
Thank you so much, and finally we're clearing up, right? Just a few passing clouds here and there, but overall the precipitation is done for now, but we're going to get another round moving on in. In general, though, we're going to continue to see some decrease in clouds. Temperatures are going to continue to cool off, of course. The winds, you see how it's mainly blowing from the north down south, bringing in all that cooler weather. Not quite cold, we're talking a little bit cooler overnight, of course. Light breeze around 6 miles an hour here in town. 5 by Bar Harbor, around 40 degrees earlier today. Wow, a lot warmer, right? But near average for this time of year. The coast saw some upper 30s. Overnight tonight, though, we're going to be back in those upper 20s to lower 30s with some decrease in clouds.
All right, Conrad, thank you. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll tell you how businesses are showing their appreciation for teachers in Ellsworth. That story and more when we come right back.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Protect your vehicle from rusting away with Bell's Automotive Protection. We are the leader in mobile undercoating and rust proofing in Maine. We'll travel right to your driveway using the best and safest products on the market. This is much safer than rubberized coatings that can cause damage later on. We spray all types of vehicles, including commercial fleets. We all know vehicles aren't cheap anymore. Don't let the harsh winter chemicals eat them away. Call us or visit our page for a free quote. 207-659-3805.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
You could get the lowest financing rate ever on most 2024 Tundra hybrid and gas models. Just 1.99% financing, which could save you up to $3,900.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
The best in the West battle for the crown. The Pac-12 Tournament Finals, Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Is this how you prove you earn the crown? How you shut up the haters? Handle the heat?
Who's going to make the move?
It's going to be a must-win. Is this a shooting star? Rock star? Superstar? Okay. Let's all take a deep breath. Because once we peel out, there's no looking back. You ready?
Educators in Ellsworth were showered with appreciation today. Our Callie Warren was there and has the story.
Though Teacher Appreciation Week isn't until May, Ellsworth teachers got some well-deserved recognition on Friday in the form of Pat's Pizza, snacks, and flowers. Almost 60 large pizzas were delivered to area schools.
It's a feel-good, makes your heart warm to help the community. They help us so much. It's so nice to reach back to the teachers to give them a recognition for what they do.
The Appreciation Luncheon is a tradition sponsored by several area businesses. Teachers in schools across the district were treated to free lunch on a professional development day. Ellsworth elementary and middle school staff say the recognition was valuable.
Different businesses in our community are so generous. It really does help us feel the love, help us feel supported by our community.
I think appreciation goes a long ways. I think that appreciation is kind of like the bones of keeping us going.
According to school administrators, the outreach makes educators feel more connected to the community.
The business community wanted to take time and appreciate the work that we do here at school, appreciate our teachers and our support staff, our custodial staff, our cooks, our administrative assistants, and I just think it's amazing. You know, your school is a reflection of your community, and how much pride you have in your community is reflected in how much pride you have in your school.
In Ellsworth, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And our educators just deserve so much recognition. Well, after more than 60 years of live performance, one main country band is retiring from the limelight. Our David Ledford spoke with them about their legacy and love for not just music, but each other.
And you're the key of what? Key B.
Husband and wife duo Clyde and Elizabeth Flaherty have shared over 6 decades of love and music. They've performed across the state since the late 50s as the band Down East Country. But now they're hanging up their guitars and reflecting on a lifetime of music in Maine.
It's been a very happy career for both of us.
They've played with over 180 different bandmates, including their son Rick. But they say the one constant throughout their careers has been each other.
When I first started dating her, I taught her how to play. We started in the little clubs, and then it developed into a larger thing.
The couple has played their songs at American Legion halls and nursing homes throughout Aroostook County, aiming to help those in need.
My main goal in life is to be around people that needed help and to try to bring up their life by cheering them up with a song.
And they were featured on Dick Stacy's Country Jamboree, a late-night music program that aired here on WVII.
Stacy Jamboree. That was fun. Must have been 1958. We used to love to hear the other entertainers.
But they say one of their fondest memories is the night they brought the house down.
One night we was playing at a hall in Limestone, Maine. The whole entire ceiling came down on top of the people that were on the dance floor. So they cleaned it up. And the music went on and we played till 1 o'clock.
And although they may be retiring from live performance, they say they'll still make music together.
I love you.
Yeah.
We wouldn't change a thing. We'd do it over again. And heartbeat.
In Sullivan, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
We never know what kind of hidden treasures you'll find when you go out antiquing, and there's a business in Ellsworth just so chock full that you can find new little gems every time you visit. Check it out in this week's Destination Devon.
One A Relics is an antique mall on the outskirts of Ellsworth that seems to have just about anything you can think of, short of the kitchen sink.
Let me start at the beginning then. Toys, comic book, Legos, you know what that's from. We have one of the largest bookstores in Ellsworth, and then of course, you get a coyote. If a person comes walking through the door asking for something in particular, good chance we have it.
Shelley Bradsell and her husband originally opened the mall back in 2018. The couple has always been interested in antiquing and opened their business hoping to be the ideal place for vendors and artisans alike to peddle their wares.
Moxie, vintage clothing. Jerry's our license plate guy. There's Spider-Man. You have Kermit, print kind of records, vinyl. Kids don't know what a cassette tape is.
Over the years, these entrepreneurs haven't wasted a single inch of floor space, cramming in as many vendors as they can fit.
So we've doubled in the number of spaces. We've doubled, well, we probably tripled in the amount of spaces that we actually have for people.
With such an eclectic look along the 1A road, the Bradsells have no problem getting people to stop in and see what they're all about.
We've got some Stephen King books that are signed by him. Leatherface cutting the head off of Mario, Grandma and Grandpa. We're one of the first stops going on the way to Bar Harbor, so we get a lot of tourists. So that's fantastic. But the locals, once the find us and realize what we have in here, we hear a lot of comments about, I'm going to bring my family back, I'm going to bring my sisters back, oh, my mother's coming and such, they're going to love this place.
Even if you're not looking to buy anything, Shelley says she welcomes anyone who just wants to stop in to take a look around.
We're all about atmosphere and making people happy.
In Ellsworth, Kevin Dagnall.
Thank you.
ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Just one of those places I've always wanted to stop in every time I go by. You might just have to do so next time. All right, well, coming up, we'll have some headlines from across the nation, including the latest developments in the election interference case against Trump. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 207 Wellness, where transformation begins from within. Embark on a journey of self-betterment with our comprehensive services from weight management to IV hydration, vitamin supplementation, and neurotoxin injections. 207 Wellness is here to support your wellness goals. Take the first step toward a healthier, happier you. Rejuvenate your body, refresh your mind, and reclaim your vitality with 207 Wellness. Transform your wellness, transform your life. Give us a call today.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
This rugged workhorse pairs capability with comfort, bold styling with advanced safety features, and she has the best resale value in her class. Toyota Tundra.
What's the story behind your Tundra?
She's my work truck.
She's my boat hauling truck.
She's my get him to the game safely truck.
Perhaps it's time to write the tale of your Tundra. To get started, all roads lead to Down East on Wilson Street in Brewer.
A new era of spring football kicks off. March 30th, the USFL champs versus the XFL champs. The heavyweight matchup that the fans deserve. Spring just got stronger. UFL kickoff weekend begins Saturday, March 30th at 1 on Fox. If you've been injured, call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
A judge in Georgia ruled the district attorney prosecuting former President Donald Trump for election interference can stay on the case. Fox's Carolyn Shively has details from Washington.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis scored a legal victory on Friday. A judge ruled she can stay on the election interference case against former President Donald Trump, but he released a scathing analysis of her decision to date Nathan Wade, the man she had hired as the lead prosecutor, noting the DA's lapse of judgment, unprofessional manner, and bad choices.
That's going to give the defendants a lot of ammunition moving forward, not just in a court bill, but there's also the court of public opinion.
Trump's co-defendants have alleged the relationship is a disqualifying conflict of interest for Wade and Willis. Judge Scott McAfee said they failed to prove that, but ruled either Wade or the entire prosecution team, including Willis, had to step down. Wade resigned on Friday.
They left a wounded Willis to continue on in the case, and she will stand accused of false statements as she prosecutes others for that type of conduct.
Trump's lead defense counsel said on Friday they respect the court's decision, but complained the judge didn't fully consider the financial benefits for Willis in giving Wade a job. The former president has been attacking the DA at campaign events after she testified she and Wade spent thousands on cruises and vacations.
They traveled all over the world together. Isn't that romantic?
If Willis had been removed, that would likely have pushed the trial in Georgia until after the election, but as of now, there is no official start date. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
The U.S. and Ireland are celebrating 100 years of diplomatic relations ahead of this St. Patrick's Day. The leaders of both countries continuing a long-standing tradition of visiting each other, but this year, the cloud of two wars loomed over their talks. Fox's Connor Hansen with that story.
President Biden and other leaders hosted an Irish delegation ahead of St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's typically a lighthearted occasion.
My grandfather Finney used to say, "May the hinge of our friendship never go rusty."
But this year, wars in Gaza and Ukraine were top of mind for the leaders.
We're standing together to support Ukraine in the face of Putin's onslaught, the savagery.
Obviously, keen to talk about the situation in Gaza as well.
my view that we need to ceasefire as soon as possible to get food and medicine in, to get hostages out, and we need to talk about how we can make that happen and move towards a two-state solution.
The meeting comes a day after Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for new elections in Israel.
He made a good speech, and I think he expressed a serious concern, shared not only by him but by many Americans.
Both President Biden and Ireland's Prime Minister called on Congress to pass funding for Israel and Ukraine. House Speaker Mike Johnson still pushing for U.S. border reform, but agreeing the U.S. and Ireland need to stick together.
Our hearts are heavy in spite of the fun fellowship, because stability is being threatened in Europe and in the Middle East, and our allies and friends such as Israel and Taiwan continue to fight for their very right to exist.
Both sides are hopeful peace talks between Israel and Hamas could lead to a ceasefire in Gaza, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has approved a military plan to move into the southern region of Rafah. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Deadly storms left behind a trail of debris in the Midwest on Thursday. Police now conducting search and rescue operations to find anyone still missing. Fox's Tonya J. Powers has more.
We heard glass shattering all over our house where tree limbs were coming through our house and breaking glass.
Strong storms tearing across the Midwest Thursday night, killing multiple people and spawning tornadoes from Kentucky up through Ohio. Officials in the Buckeye State say gusty winds hit an RV park, causing injuries and whipping up debris.
It was all over the place. By trailer, I've got a utility trailer, small flatbed sitting in front of the house. It was up against my porch.
Farther west, Indiana officials say the conditions damaged nearly half of all the structures in the town of Selma, about 70 miles northeast of Indianapolis. The National Weather Service says survey teams will be in the area Friday to assess the damage. While in nearby Winchester, state police are conducting search and rescue efforts after a suspected twister touched down. Authorities are now searching damaged buildings for anyone who may be missing.
We do have a shelter in place at the high school here in town. There's lots of activity going on up there this morning.
Meanwhile, the severe weather knocked out electricity to more than 20,000 homes and businesses across the region. Neighbors say they're now relying on one another for power.
We put in a generator that powers the whole house. And so some of the neighbors, we've got them in our house. I think we've got a house full right now, but that's okay. They're safe.
Forecasters say this same system is now threatening the southeast with severe thunderstorms through Friday night. In New York, Tonya J. Powers, Fox News.
TSA is expanding its facial recognition technology to nearly 30 airports across the country. But there are security concerns over the system storing data without consent. Fox's Jerry Willis is at LaGuardia Airport with more.
We're here at LaGuardia, where the TSA is testing out new facial recognition technology. Some of the travelers here telling us they don't mind. It's fine by them because their face is everywhere already. Others say, hey, it's too much Big Brother. Listen.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Just insert your ID right here for me.
The next time you're at the airport, you might notice that you can get through security with just an ID and a photo. It's part of a TSA pilot project to assess the use of facial recognition technology. Travelers insert their ID into a card reader and look at a camera on a screen. The machine checks to make sure that the image matches the ID to make sure their identification is real.
Better identity security. That informs better security, physical security. So it's good for the passengers, safety of the airplane.
So far, the technology is being tested in around 30 airports across the country and will be coming to 400 over time. Since the debut, the program has come under scrutiny by some elected officials and privacy advocates.
Where are you going with this? How do you know you're getting rid of it before someone is stealing that data as well? Americans are very concerned that this is another step of big government assessing our personal data.
TSA officials tell us that they are not retaining data with the exception of select airports where they are collecting data from volunteers for no longer than 24 months to improve the technology. One thing to clarify, this new technology, well, it won't make it faster getting to your plane. However, its developer says it will make you safer. Back to you.
All right, and still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have the latest on America's response to the ongoing unrest in Haiti, plus some other news from around the globe. Stay with us.
Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole. With boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has a cost-friendly Kia with your name on it. Choose from our fleet of front-wheel drives, all-wheel drives, hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, all affordable, tech-packed, and great on gas. Check out the all-new 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid with 53 mpg highway, or check out the new 2023 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. All come loaded with safety features and are great on gas. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
The Maniac Snack Shack. You will find delicious, tasty, insane desserts. Oh, and wait, there is more. We offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner options for take home. You want something special? Let us know and we'll create that perfect treat for any occasion. The Maniac Snack Shack. Place your order today.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC.
Hamas has released details of a new ceasefire proposal that includes the release of hostages. And now the ball is in Israel's court. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more.
As the fighting rides on in the Gaza Strip, Israel's war cabinet is meeting to consider a new ceasefire proposal from Hamas. It's a two-step plan. In the first phase, Hamas would release Israeli women, children, the elderly, and those with health issues in exchange for up to 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. After that, both sides would agree on a date for Israel's withdrawal from Gaza, followed by the release of the remaining hostages. It's not yet clear how Israel would respond, but it's unlikely they'd order a full stop to their offensive.
We are willing to pay a heavy price to bring back the hostages, but one thing we will not compromise, and that's our demand, not to stop the war until Hamas is eradicated.
The new proposal was announced just one day after Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer suggested Israel hold new elections, a direct shot at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Those comments prompting significant criticism from Israeli officials. Even Benny Gantz, Netanyahu's political rival, called Schumer's suggestion, quote, incorrect and unacceptable. The Biden administration now distancing itself from Schumer's remarks, saying he was speaking for himself, not the White House.
I'm sure that they fully understand that he speaks for himself. He's obviously someone we're in close contact with, but it's not a statement from the executive branch.
Meanwhile, the U.S. released the final draft of a UN resolution aimed at stopping the fighting in Gaza. But it's unclear when it will come up for a vote in the Security Council. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Meanwhile, after weeks of violence and chaos in Haiti, pressure is building on the Biden administration to evacuate Americans there. The State Department, however, says it does not have any current plans to do so. Fox's Rich Edson has more.
Another group of Marines arrived in Haiti this week to bolster security at the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince. The Pentagon says they'll relieve forces already stationed there adding the Marines were not deployed to help Americans escape.
We have installed additional security personnel there, but that's all they're doing is just securing the embassy.
The State Department says it's heard from hundreds of American citizens who've registered with the department to receive more information about the situation in Haiti. State says it cannot provide a firm number of how many Americans are there. State officials say they're not actively planning an evacuation and cited previous travel warnings.
For 4 years, we have been telling Americans, do not go to Haiti. Do not travel there. It's not safe to do so.
Florida launched its own portal to help stranded Floridians. Governor Ron DeSantis says he's deploying more law enforcement officers to the coast in preparation for a potential wave of migrants fleeing to the U.S.
The message is the last thing you should want to do is get on some boat and think you're going to come through from any of these islands to get to the state of Florida.
And Republicans on Capitol Hill maintain there's some risk to the U.S.
How does this administration expect that the gang violence and cartel violence in Haiti and Mexico, respectively, will not spill over into American borders with this open border?
The Biden administration says it plans to send an additional $25 million in humanitarian assistance to Haiti. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox News.
It's a presidential contest where the winner is almost preordained. Russians headed to the polls in a wartime election seen as a sham by most of the West. Fox's Alex Hogan has more.
Voters in Russia are heading to the polls, but who will win the country's 8th presidential election is something of a foregone conclusion. Longtime leader Vladimir Putin is widely expected to coast to another big victory, winning a 5th term as Russia's president after killing, jailing, or exiling most of his opponents. Despite the anticipated Putin victory, reaction was largely mixed on the streets of Moscow. Some voters are strongly backing the president, while others say they're hoping for change.
Life is very difficult now. We're coping for now, but I hope it will be a little better.
What do I expect? That everything will be fine, that he will make our country better, and that we will move forward.
Of course, this election is being carried out against the backdrop of the ongoing war in Ukraine. In parts of the countries occupied by Russia, tremendous pressure is being exerted on locals to head to the polls, part of a broader strategy to annex those regions both politically and culturally.
We got direct threats like, if you don't get a Russian passport, you won't be able to go to the store, anywhere, complete isolation in your home.
And Putin is accusing the Ukrainians of trying to sabotage the election in eastern Ukraine, issuing an ominous new threat to Kyiv.
The regime is trying to carry out a number of criminal attacks with the aim of disrupting the voting process. These attacks will not go unpunished.
The Kremlin also says that the U.S. is trying to interfere with the election. The White House calls those allegations categorically false. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
All right, and when we come back, our full 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
Don't forget those umbrellas. More rain is on the way and some milder temperatures. How much rain are we going to get? Most important thing, let's get the timing. I'll have all of that coming up.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Little Miss Davis Sweets and Treats, a home-based business that specializes in homemade baked goods. I bake everything from mini cupcakes and cakes, including my giant cookies, cupcakes, and large gingerbread men. I also specialize in baking homemade fudge and brownies too. Everything I bake is made to order, so I do kindly ask for at least a 7-day pickup notice when placing your order. Little Miss Davis Sweets and Treats.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Justin Timberlake, Green Day, TLC, and more, plus a tribute to Icon recipient Cher.
Thank you, iHeart.
The iHeartRadio Music Awards, Monday, April 1st on Fox.
And welcome back, folks. Our main weather is brought to you by Varney Ford. Varney Ford in Newport gives one full year maintenance on every new and used vehicle they sell. Come visit them and see their huge selection of cars and trucks, the nice car and truck people. And look at this, a little bit more rain, right? Some severe thunderstorms down south. You got to go all the way down south, closer to Atlanta, Georgia as well, Houston, New Orleans area. You're getting in on some thunderstorms, but we had a swath of some severe weather stretching from Oklahoma past St. Louis into Indiana and Ohio yesterday. There was unfortunately some tornadoes embedded in those storms. For us, though, no severe weather, of course. We're going to continue to see a few passing clouds here and there overnight tonight. Temperatures will be dipping below freezing. And then look what happens. Starting, say, Saturday night into Sunday, especially by Sunday, we are talking a little bit more rain and snow in the area. Most of the snow will be limited to the northern part of the state. Greenville, you are in on that rain and snow mix. Here in town, same story, more of a rain event. Of course, temperatures will be above freezing. Future snowfall, not much, pretty much nothing here in town. Right by the coast, same story. You're out of luck this time around. But then just north, right? So we got Greenville, Millinocket area, and then north of that, that's where we're talking more of that heavier snow starting to pile up, but not a lot, though. We're talking only a couple of inches, maybe a few inches in some isolated locations. But temperatures, though, will be pretty much above freezing most of the time, which is not good at all for accumulative snowfall. Now, just a little bit of snow on the ground, a little bit north of town, Millinocket area as well. Greenville, you are in on a little bit more snow on the ground for now. But where is all the snow, right? Big question. It's gone. It melted away. We've had 40s and 50s pretty much every single day since March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, right through the week, right? Then we had one day slightly below average temperatures by 1 degree, and then right back up to 40s and 50s the last several days. And once again, today we were near 40. Our average high is around 40. We're going to be a little bit above that. We're going to be in those mid to upper 40s the next several days, and then a bit cooler. So we're talking Wednesday into Thursday. That's when the cooler temperatures will be rolling in, and we're going to see slightly below average temperatures starting next week. Now for tonight, though, not bad, right? Upper 20s to some lower 30s, decreasing clouds as well, so it's going to be a nice calm night. For tomorrow, though, upper 40s with some increasing clouds. It's going to be warm, though, around 50 degrees. It's going to just feel nice, like a spring day, but not at spring just yet. Our extended forecast outlook does show rain in the area on Sunday. St. Patrick's Day, not looking good if you got plans. Bring an umbrella, a little bit of snow mixed in, especially north. And then Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, we are mainly clear. Temperatures in the 40s.
Alrighty, Conrad, thank you. And stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the Twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey. What are we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Right now, you could get affordable 4.75% financing for 60 months on a fun-to-drive Corolla sedan, which could save you up to $1,600.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Great Scott!
This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
If you're a woman between the ages of 50 and 74, talk to your provider about being screened for breast cancer.
At age 37, I was scared and confused when my doctors found a lump in my breast. I hadn't even had a mammogram yet.
Ask your doctor about breast cancer screening at your next visit.
I'm doing great now, but I tell my friends getting screened is important to you and the ones you love.
Watch for changes in your breasts and learn more about breast cancer screening at screenmaine.org.
Welcome to MasterChef Junior.
This looks better than half the dishes come out of my dad's restaurant.
MasterChef Junior, all new, Mondays on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. A big game at the Pit tonight, biggest of the season. Maine women's basketball home hosting Vermont in the America East Championship game, looking for an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. To Orono we go. Who will be dancing? Emma Utterback and Vermont for the second year in a row, or the Black Bears? First quarter, Maine started hot. Ann Simon to Caroline Borman, who finds Olivia Rockwood for three, nails it. Next possession, Adriana Smith pulls up from mid-range and buries this jumper. Black Bears up early. Here comes Vermont now. This is Emma Utterback with it. She uses a screen, gets into the lane, and gets it to go off the glass. Okay, now here comes Ann Simon now, the America East Player of the Year, getting into the lane, putting a little spin on it, and getting it to go. Before the half now, here's Wyndham's Sarah Talent. Step back three, cashes it in. But Vermont, they would answer right back on the other end. Angela Maddock gets some space on the wing and drains the triple at the buzzer. Maine up 9 at the break. Second half, it was all Black Bears folks. Smith gives to Bornman, who gives it back to Smith, wide open for the hoop for two, and the Black Bears would dominate. They win 64-48. They are going dancing, ladies and gentlemen. The Black Bears punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament and await their first round opponent.
Like, we know what team we are. We know how well we can play. We know those first two games were grit wins. That's because we wanted to be here so bad that no matter, like, our shots weren't falling, our defense we fell back on and stuff. But tonight, this was who we are, and this is how we can play, and we stepped up when we needed to, and we got it done because this is what we've been working for.
So proud of our team. I mean, I feel like today we really did, we talk about it a lot, but really did take it one possession at a time, and we're really intentional with everything we did on the offensive and the defensive end, and just a complete team effort, and so proud of this team for believing and trusting, and they earned it. So.
Big congrats to them. They will have their opponent named on Sunday night. Now let's stay in Orono and move over to Alfond Arena ahead of Maine men's hockey's Hockey East quarterfinal game against UNH tomorrow night. Hockey East announcing their all-star teams, and it's a family affair for the Black Bears. Brothers Bradley and Josh Nadeau are Hockey East all-stars, the first Maine freshman to be named all-stars since 1995. Bradley named second team All-Hockey East, the first-round draft pick, finishing with 31 points and 12 goals in conference play. Josh named third-team All-Hockey East with 30 points and 11 goals in conference play. The brothers have assisted each other on 21 goals this year and are the first pair of Black Bears to have 40-point seasons in the same season since 2012. And speaking of awards, a big award winner in high school hoops announced Thursday. These things just keep piling up for Chevress's Maddie Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick named the Gatorade Player of the Year for Maine girls high school basketball for the second straight year. The Stags senior averaging over 23 points and 11 rebounds this past season, leading the Stags to a perfect record and AA state championship. Just last week, Fitzpatrick was also named Miss Maine Basketball, and she'll be heading to Orono this fall to play for the Black Bears. Reflecting on this past year, she says it's been nothing short of a dream.
I've never had a team like this ever, and it was just like such a great way to end, my Chevress career. The seniors, we were talking about like how we left the program better than we found it. So I mean, you just can't ask for anything else.
Okay, congrats to her. Staying with basketball and over to the NBA, the red-hot NBA best Celtics winning their 52nd game last night against the Suns and becoming the first team to clinch a playoff spot. The Celts back at practice today, getting ready for Sunday's game at Washington. Celtics still have 16 games to go before the playoffs. Right now they have a 9.5 game lead over Milwaukee for the top seed in the East and a 6-game lead over Oklahoma City and Denver for home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Here's head coach Joe Mazzulla and guard Derek White reflecting on this great year.
Just enjoy every day and understand, the success that we're having isn't natural. It doesn't always happen in the NBA. You don't have years like that. So grateful for that and don't take that for granted.
It's been a lot of fun. Obviously playing well, and we got a lot of great guys that you want to play with. So it's been a fun season so far.
Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has a cost-friendly Kia with your name on it. Choose from our fleet of front-wheel drives, all-wheel drives, hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, all affordable, tech-packed, and great on gas. Check out the all-new 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid with 53 MPG highway, or check out the new 2023 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. All come loaded with safety features and are great on gas. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Hello, Crapopolis!
From creator Dan Harmon comes TV's #1 new comedy.
How did I live without this?
Critics call it funny and naughty and delightfully twisted.
What is it with all the yelling? You woke me up and I was underneath a mountain of bodies.
Join civilization's first family in a comedy that doesn't quit.
We can't quit now. We have to evolve society to the point where women find hot men boring.
Crapopolis, all new Sundays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
It could change the course of their lives forever.
Oh, you are a gift.
Bill Skarsgård steps into an iconic role. Bon Jovi releases new music and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with all the latest in the Hollywood Nation.
Skarsgård seeks revenge, Bon Jovi celebrates, and break out the bear sandwiches in the Hollywood Nation.
Opening a restaurant.
Chef Carmy is reportedly serving up extra helpings of the hit series. According to Deadline, the bear has been renewed for a 4th season and is filming seasons 3 and 4 back-to-back in Chicago. The comedy recently swept awards season, taking the Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series and the SAG Award for the ensemble. Bon Jovi continues their 40th anniversary celebration with new music. The Grammy-winning rock band will release their 16th album, Forever, June 7th. They also unveiled the single Legendary along with its music video. Speaking of music, Meghan Trainor announces a new album and first tour in 7 years. The Grammy winner will drop her 6th record, Timeless, June 14th, and return to the stage for a North American trek, kicking off in Cincinnati, Ohio, September 3rd.
I'm gonna kill them.
every single one of them.
Bill Skarsgård takes on an iconic role in today's First Looks. Lionsgate released the official trailer to The Crow, featuring Skarsgård as Eric Draven alongside FKA Twigs as Shelley Webster. They play soulmates who are brutally murdered when Shelley's dark past catches up with them. When Eric is given the chance to save her, he sacrifices himself and sets out to seek revenge on their killers. The Crow flies into theaters June 7th.
I'll never be alone.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Vocational students from across the state put their skills to the test during the annual Skills USA competition in Bangor. The tradesmen and women of tomorrow showcase their abilities in vocational specific time trials ranging from automotive electrical repair to wedding cake decoration. The tests are the perfect opportunity for the students to show off what they've learned and to see where they can improve.
This is like tourney week for them, so this is a big deal, but there's also with Skills USA they do a lot with leadership, teaching kids speaking skills, how to prepare themselves for the workplace. There's a lot to it.
The students who rise to the top and win gold will head to Atlanta, Georgia for the National Skills USA competition in June. Members of the Belfast Police Department jumped into the icy ocean waters to show their support for Maine's Special Olympics. Officers spent the last several weeks raising money to help send athletes to the Special Olympics. Belfast Police Chief Robert Cormier says it's part of a decades-long tradition for departments across the country.
Every March, all around the country, police officers jump into the cold water wherever we can find it. The athletes and law enforcement have a really special bond that goes, back decades. And so today we had a lot of athletes out to cheer us on. It's a really fun event.
Chief Cormier invites members of the public to join them in next year's Polar Plunge. He says if you're interested, reach out to the Belfast Police Department to get involved. Well, the weather might not have been perfect for an ice cream cone today, but that didn't stop some die-hard Mainers from showing up for the reopening of Gifford's ice cream stand in Bangor. A line could be seen throughout the day as scoopers filled orders of sweet treats. This year was possibly even more special as Gifford's production facility in Skowhegan has recovered from a fire that took place last year.
There was a lot more excitement this year just to get back at what we do, and we know we do it well, but to have the Gifford's ice cream, just to open the packages and see that it's ours, there was a lot of excitement and everybody was working really hard.
This is the first of the Gifford's ice cream stands to open for the season. The Waterville location will open next Friday with new flavors on the menu and a sampler also available. Well, it's a pretty good excuse to get out and enjoy some ice cream. Just glad to see that they're back up and running and also offering some new flavors as well. I can't wait to get my hands on that blueberry cheesecake flavor myself. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you have a great rest of your evening and a wonderful weekend ahead.